If you have Photoshop in around 10 minutes, I'm going to show how you can recreate this. The first thing you're going to want to do is just start with the blank canvas, and I have my width at 1080 pixels and then my height at 1350. And as you can see right here, I already have the player image that I'm going to use loaded in, and then I just wrote committed right above him, and then I used like the Florida State mascot sword thing that they have. I don't know what it's called, but I just wanted to put that in because I thought it looked cool. And then right here, I wanted to have him kind of standing on the Florida State court, but I didn't want to keep most of the stands or anything. I just wanted to kind of have like that logo showing. So I loaded a picture of the court, obviously, and then I just used the brush tool to kind of fade around it and touch it up. So it just looked like that, just him standing on the logo area. And then right here, I wanted to add in this exact color that they use for their color codes. And you can get the color code exactly and type it in yourself, but I found this to be kind of easier so I can kind of look at it as I go. And then I create this gradient layer using the gradient tool. And then I double click on it so I can go in here and I can change the color to the Florida State colors. Because right now it's set at black. So I just double click on that little square and then I can change it to the exact color right here. And as you can see, it's a little different than what I clicked. And that's why I loaded the exact color code that they use onto the canvas. So I can click on it right here after I double click on it, and it just changes it to that color. And towards the end of this video, I'm going to show how I made the top part red and not just keep it all one color. But right here, I went ahead and added in the thing that the Florida State mascot holds. I don't know exactly what it's called, but I just wanted to put that behind him. And then I also put one of the street sign highway signs on there as well that shows the city where the school is. And then right here, I just went ahead and added in this aerial view of the city where the school is in Tallahassee. And as you can see right here, instead of having it on the normal, like as the background was white when I loaded in, I went down there to where it says multiply on the right side, and I just changed it to multiply. So all the white part of this image goes away and it just keeps the black lines, which is exactly what I wanted to do. And then I just go over to the brush tool after creating a layer mask on the layer of the aerial view, obviously. And then I just use the brush tool and I'm brushing it up. I just want to keep mainly like the middle part of it. And I just want it to fade into the graphic well. Like I want it to be in the middle and not show too much. After I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add this Florida State logo or sign in. And I just thought it looked cool. I thought I could maybe make it look cool in the background. And kind of like I did with the view of the aerial map of the city, I'm going to go over to the right side, and instead of keeping it at normal like it is right here, or right now it's on color burn, I'm going to change it to one of the lighter versions because color burn is one of the darker options. And in order to get it to fit well with the background, I'm going to change it to one of these lighter options right here, which I kept it on screen for this one. And as you can see, it looks way better with the graphic, and it just fades well. And I also did touch that up with the brush a little bit just to fade it. And as you can see here, I added in some other things as well as the Florida State outline. And then right here, I'm adding in the mascot. So I just add that in, go over to the selection tool, and then I click select and mask, and then it just will mask out the mascot. And I added in his name at the bottom, and he's a 4-star recruit. So I added in 4 stars. And right here, I wanted to see if I could get this Florida State flag to fit in the background. I didn't end up going with it just because I couldn't really find a good place to put it, but this is me messing with it on in the camera raw filter. And I just wanted to see if I could make it pop a little bit more, but I didn't end up going with this. As you can see right here, I also added in his Twitter profile name and just an arrow kind of pointing to it. I just wanted to add in some smaller features to try to make it look cooler. And if you're on a Mac, if you hold down Command, Option, Shift, and E at the same time, you can mask all the layers together. And that's what I did right here. And then after masking them all together, I go over to the Camera Raw filter so I can create a Camera Raw filter for the entire thing. And I didn't end up going with this first Camera Raw filter that I'm showing right here because it was mainly just to see if I need to add in another gradient layer or if I should just increase the one that I already have, like increase the opacity on the one I already have. And then right there, you can see I deleted it real quick just because, like I said, I just wanted to see how it looked. And then I went ahead and added made the Florida outline, made it a little bit darker. So all I did was just increase the opacity for that layer. And then right here, you can see I create a new layer above the gradient layer that I already have. And then I create another gradient layer right here above the one I already have. The main reason I wanted to do this was just because I didn't think the one color looked good right here, like the tannish color that they have for their school colors. I figured maybe adding in the red that they use would also look good. So I just go over to the new gradient layer that I added, and I click on his jersey, so it'll give me that red. And I do end up going with the exact school colors, which is very similar to what's on the jersey. It's just the lighting can kind of mess it up a little bit. What I'm doing right here is just trying to figure out which way I should put the gradient layer, because obviously I have two of them right now, but I'm trying to see if I should just go with the top one or if I should use both of them a little bit by putting the opacity kind of at 50 for both of them. But after messing around with it, this is kind of what I wanted to go with, because I knew using Camera Raw filter, I'm going to be able to really enhance all the colors. So once I'm ready to use the Camera Raw filter, I'm going to go ahead and click Command, Option, Shift, and E. And if you're not on a Mac, I'm pretty sure the buttons are still very similar to the Mac. It's just, I think it might be Command, Alt, Shift, and E. It's something like that. But this is what I get after I do that, and then I click Camera Raw filter for the final time. It'll put that filter that I added on. And then right here, this is the final graphic. If you watched the whole video and made it to the end, I appreciate it. And I'm going to be dropping more videos like this week. Thank you.